through the cloud cover and began firing on the city. Jahan knew the wash from their engines was burning the buildings beneath them. The only good news was that the port was surrounded by warehouses and machine shops rather than houses, apartments, and businesses. She just had to hope that the stevedores had heeded the blaring alarms and gotten away, or into basements, knowing the spaceport would be a prime target. The ship was wallowing, listing from side to side as she used the maneuvering jets to try and steer them. She sent up a prayer that the vessel would hold together. Spaceships were designed to keep air inside, so adding pressure outside wasn't a great choice, but it wasn't like they were going all that deep. They just had to hunker down until the bombardment ended and hope the invading enemy force didn't scan all that closely or wasn't bent on occupying the planet. And please God, let the engines restart, she added in a hurried afterthought. On my command, do a hard kill of the engines, she called down to engineering. What? Why? Just do it! When? Now! She dropped them into the lake.
Quiero pastel amarillo.
Prince Cyprian Marcus Sinclair Amadeo de Arango lisped as he made his preference known to his father.
With chocolate icing, he added.
Beauregard Honoria Sinclair Cullen, Vizconde Dorado Arco, Knight of the Shells, shareholder general of the Grand Cartel, the 20th Duque de Argento y Pepco, consort to the Empress, and father to the heir of the Solar League, Prince Cyprian Marcus Sinclair Amadeo de Arango hugged his son closer. The child's pale brown hair tickled his chin.
I don't think there is a yellow cake, cariño.
The little boy's face screwed up for a massive howl, and Boho reminded himself that his son wouldn't always be 2. In fact, his 3rd birthday was fast approaching. But in the meantime, he had to learn to behave. Boho pushed Cyprian off his lap and held him at arm's length.
Is that how a prince behaves,
A small sob like a hiccup escaped. Then Cyprian said, No, so quietly that Boho barely heard it.
All right, then. We'll go over to the buffet and see what kinds of cake are available.
They were in the palace gardens where fountains dotted the sweeping lawn. In addition to those elegant waterworks, there were 2 bouncy castles, a large swing set, a slide and jungle gym, an above-ground pool and water slide, a carousel, and, for those who preferred the real thing, ponies from the royal stable saddled and waiting with their grooms to offer rides. Some of the older children had started an impromptu football game. Hayden Mackenzie stood on the sidelines watching the play. At 13, he was coltish, but he had clearly inherited his mother's beauty. More than a few of the older girls were eyeing him, but he was oblivious to their scrutiny. He also had an expression that was too somber for a boy. Understandable, considering that he had survived the alien attack on the starbase commanded by his mother. He had witnessed the death of his father and sister, his mother's injury, and her subsequent refusal to see him. The royal family had taken him in, and Cyprian had immediately attached himself barnacle-like to the older boy. Boho thought about calling him over, then decided Hayden might like a break from his royal shadow. Cyprian adored Hayden and followed him about like a puppy. A large pavilion held an outdoor kitchen where hamburgers and hot dogs were grilling, French fries were boiling in grease, and human servants stood ready to fill plates with coleslaw, potato salad, fruit salad. The alien servants were relegated to emptying trash cans and bussing tables. A table held a giant sheet cake and a smaller cake with 8 candles. There was a table off to the side with culinary choices more to the taste of the parents, predominantly mothers, who were chasing, scolding, and comforting their children, who flitted across the greensward like brightly colored butterflies. Boho felt like a troll at the fairies' ball. The only other man, apart from servants, who was present was Yves Ricardo Petek, Duc de Telqual. The hot August weather had him sweating, and his prodigious belly was bouncing as he tried to keep up with his 6-year-old twins. Like every other FFH child under the age of 12 and still present in his